Well, hello everybody. It's been a while. Hope you all had a good holiday. Hopefully the audio on this sounds right. This is like the third or fourth video I've tried with my new camera, which I'm sure you have already figured out because of the different position. It is a Cine 10C, which can only be mounted on the left. I'm okay with that. I think it'll give a better view of the oncoming traffic that likes to try to kill you. Makes it easier to point stuff out because I can take my hand off and still speed up. You know, I've still got throttle control. It will also help point out the idiots in front of me who cannot maintain their own lane. Not much, but you'll have a slightly better view of all that fun stuff. It is not perfect. It is surprisingly difficult to get the lens lined up because the camera body and the lens... Oh, nice. Signal left and go right, huh? Okay. Thanks for letting me by, though. The lens is canted up in comparison to the camera body, which, if you're on a sport bike, means you mount the camera roughly level, and you probably will be okay. On this bike, I actually have to point it down just a little bit. But that's okay. That took a ride to figure out, and it's got a rotating lens that holds its position fairly well. It's pretty tight. That took another ride to figure out that the camera, I forgot the camera is low enough on my helmet that I actually have to rotate the lens inward rather than straight up on the camera. That was my mistake. It's a stupid mistake. And there's no internal gain control, which means my loud voice inside this echo chamber of a helmet blew the audio to hell. It sounded terrible. So I got out my soldering iron and my wire cutters and rigged up my old attenuator to work and put the mic back where it was, and was really muffled. So now I'll put the mic out in front. Hopefully you're not getting much wind noise. If you are, you're not watching this, most likely. It's going to take a little bit of work to get it all ironed out, I think. A little bit more work, but I'm getting there. I've been pretty impressed with how easy it is to operate once you learn the different functions. A lot of different functions. And what's really cool is anything that comes through the speakers goes through the camera too. So, I'll turn my iPod back on. That means that basically whenever I'm having a conversation with somebody in a group ride, you're going to hear them too. Unfortunately, because of the attenuator, hopefully they'll be able to hear me well enough. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. But also because I wear earplugs, I have to crank the volume up, which means that the audio comes through really loud, and I'm going to have to go through the editor and tone that down a little bit. But that's okay. It's a little bit more work, but I think it'll work out in the long run. The only other major issue that I have, well, there's two actually. The other two, one is the battery life. The battery life's only good for like 4 hours or 2 hours with the camera on, which is not fantastic. If you're going to go for a little blast somewhere, that's fine. But that's pretty crappy battery life. And yeah, I know it's recording at 1080p, which is going to use more energy than my last camera, which I left set at 720. Oh well. You know, like I say, I've got it all wired up. It should be infinite power now. The other problem is it only accepts up to a 32 gigabyte card. It uses little bitty micro SDHC cards, But for some reason, they elected to use software that won't read the XC file format, which kind of sucks. Because, again, you're recording in 1080p, 32 gigs is going to fill up in 4 or 5 hours. I want it to be able to go for like 8 or 9. I guess I'm going to have to buy a couple more cards. And hope I don't get interrupted in the middle of the conversation, you know, which probably won't happen. I don't really go on that many 7 to 8 hour plus rides where I'm actually running my mouth the whole fucking time, and if I was, you wouldn't really be listening to most of it anyway.